Start running. Go.
Welcome classmates and Ma'am Maxi. Balik way. I-edit ito na ko ha. Welcome classmates and Ma'am Maxi Jem Guarte in a presentation today about the morality of human act and moral accountability. We are the Group 1 presenter. I am Kay Angelis Lutrana and I'm with my group members, Honoria Chloa and Ara Grace Escorpio. For our report, we have four parts. First is the what is human act, what is act of man, determinants of the morality of human act, and the modifiers of human acts. First is what is human act. So human act is ito yung mga voluntary actions like yung mga ginagawa natin araw-araw. Ito ay mga gawa natin na galing sa ating will or with voluntariness. Examples are telling the truth, going to work, finishing your homework, giving money to the poor, returning a lost item. So in completing the human act, there should be three elements. First element is the knowledge. So the knowledge is that is done in the life of an agent's knowing faculty. He is aware and conscious of what he is doing. He knows what the performance of his act means. It means that the knowledge is the awareness sa bagay na ating ginagawa. Like, we know what we are doing every day. Like today, no, I am presenting, reporting about the human act. So second element is the freedom. Freedom means that the act is performed in accordance with and not against the will. It is under the control of the will determining the action. In other words, the power resides in the will to choose to do or not to do an act. It is therefore a free act done without any element of force or coercion. So this freedom is, or kalayaan, no, in Tagalog, ikaw ay malayang gawin ang bagay na gagawin o ginagawa mo. No, we have the freedom to do what we want to do, what we wanted to do. The third element is the voluntariness. Means that the act done by the agent is intentional. When he voluntarily performs an act, the agent intends it as a product of his decision, which is within the power of his will. In other words, a voluntary act is a will act, an act that is willfully done. It proceeds from the employment of knowledge and freedom. The agent cannot voluntarily do an act if he does not know it in his intellect. He also cannot voluntarily do it without his freedom. Voluntariness takes place only when knowledge and freedom are present. So this voluntariness is yung mga gusto natin. Yung gusto natin gawin sa isang bagay. Like eating a cake, riding a bicycle, or walking. So next, So there are two types of voluntariness. First is the perfect voluntariness. So perfect voluntariness with full knowledge and full consent of the act imperfect. So this voluntariness is with full knowledge and full intention in doing that. And the other voluntariness is the imperfect voluntariness. And this voluntariness is there is no perfect knowledge nor consent. And we also distinguish between the direct voluntary act, which is when the act is intended for its own sake, either a means or as an end. So the examples of the direct voluntary act is um, cutting classes, willingly goes to a bar. Ito yung direct, no, yung gusto mong gawin sa na bagay na medyo may consequences. So ang indirect voluntary act is an act which is not intended for its own sake, but which merely follows as a regrettable consequence of an acted directly will. So examples of this indirect voluntary act is um, when you go out to a bar for a drink and you end up in a fight. Well, these events or actions may not be intended, but they occurred nevertheless. Next. Yun na. So, lipat naman yun na. Palit lang. Uh, Bangko. So, what is act of man? Act of man is an act does not proceed from the deliberate will of man. It is also not require the employment of the rational faculties of intellect and free will. So, act of man is used to describe acts that performed by an individual or sound mind. More specifically, kanina terms ay i-describe as act carried out sa isa ka person na under sa iyang will na used by an individual is legally bound. Next slide, please. So, to be considered as an act of man, there are three elements of a human act that are not present, which are the knowledge, freedom, and voluntariness. Okay. I just want to that. So first is the element of the knowledge. There is no element of knowledge. It's an act of man which is deliberately done, which means that the agent is not aware and conscious of what he is doing and what it means. So a person is not responsible for an act done in ignorance unless the ignorance is the person's own fault and is therefore guilt, in which case he acknowledges that he ignorant and also despair it. So a person kanang wala siya na kabalo kung unsa ang or dili siya aware of kanang conscious sa iyang gipanghimo og sa kabalo unsa kabutan na. So second is there is no element of freedom. It is an act of man. It is not fully done with uh, with the power of the free will to determine the act is chooses to elicit or not invoke. So a person is not responsible for an act over which he has no control unless he deliberately surrenders such control by running into conditions and circumstances is robbing of the day. So last, there is no element of voluntariness. If an act of man does not proceed from both knowledge and freedom, and requiring no decision of the will to make the agent intend and willfully do such an act or not. So, involuntariness, a person is not responsible for an act which he does not will unless he wills to give up his self-control and allowing himself to be hypnotized or like becoming intoxicated. That's my opinion.
Rani, Rani,
Oh,
masindili madungog atong tingog ba?
ano man, i-save daw, i-try na nato.
Mike, akong giano do, Mike.
Ano
Naoy.
kung ano ko niya